Hello, everybody, and welcome to the latest edition of the Can Talk on the Counselor's Perspective about what drives student and parent decisions on studying abroad. My name is Saqib, and it is truly a pleasure to have you all with us for today's session. A heartfelt thank you to our esteemed panelists for giving us so much of their invaluable time. At Can International, we are dedicated to building bridges between students towards the best global education opportunities. Having said that, I'd like to introduce today's panel. Joining us from Ajman in the UAE, we have Mansoor Ali Shah, a career counselor at the British International School. Next, we have Bushra Awan, a career counselor and psychologist from the Pakistan International School located in Doha, Qatar. And lastly, we have Rachana Sippi, a career coach and college counselor at the Dubai International Academy in the UAE. Finally, moderating the session will be Khwaja Umam, co-founder of Can International with 15 years experience in higher education. The last 9 years primarily focused on international education. He has been a regular attendee at various annual IEM conferences such as NAFSA, AIRC, and IACAC. Thank you all once again for being here, and let's dive straight into this enlightening discussion. Over to you, Khwaja.
All right, so thank you so much, Saqib. Well, at the outset, I would like to take this opportunity to thank each of our panelists who have been doing an outstanding job in their field. They are all seasoned counselors, and it's such a good mix that we see here today. And we have Bushra, who will be telling us about how the Qatar students feel and how the parents there look at the opportunities that higher education outside their country presents. Then on the UAE front, we have again two very, very seasoned people who've been guiding students passionately. I know them, at least one of them very, very closely, who's extremely passionate. And then through him, I know that Rachna ji is so seasoned. And so it's truly an honor to have each one of you on this platform. And before we dive into this engulfing interaction, I would request each one of you to please come forward and introduce themselves. Let me begin with the youngest of the lot, if the panel allows me. So over to you, Bushra.
Hi, thank you. And my name is Bushra Awan. I'm currently working in Pakistan International School, Qatar, as a guidance counselor, and it's been around 1.5 years I'm in Qatar. Previously, I was working in Pakistan as a counselor and have worked with numerous institutions, renowned institutions and university settings. Majorly, right now, we are targeting the Qatar students, and being in Qatar and focusing specifically on Pakistani students. My school is a community school, so we have a lot of challenges that are coming from side of students. So yeah, there are a lot of things we can discuss in this webinar.
All right, so may I now invite Ms. Rachna?
Hello, everybody. Good evening. I'm Rachna Sippi, and I came to Dubai in 2000 as a social emotional counselor. So I'm a psychologist by profession as well. And by default, the school changed me to a career and college counselor. I did not see of careers at all. I had no clue what was careers all about. But coming from a very joined family background, and education being the most important factor at my family, all of us are highly educated in our family. We all have professionals. So from that, I picked up 30 careers in 6 months, and I was able to guide the students. So I've been in Dubai since 2000, 25 years now. I feel like a camel in Dubai now. And it feels great to counsel students, right, from all cultures and all kind of, diversity. So I work at DIA, Dubai International Academy Emirates, where we have 85 nationalities. And so I guide students right from Europe to US to UK to Canada to Australia. And if it's the moon, I think I'd go up till there as well. But I would love to learn, and I enjoy learning, updating myself, and I love helping students at any time.
Wow, that's incredible. I mean, that's a very, very powerful introduction, I must say. Well, now I would like my friend Mansoor to introduce himself.
Well, just a big good introduction. I'm a counselor by nature and by profession. Anybody that interacted with me or been a part of any of the forum that I joined, there's one thing that I always, carry with myself is the passion for counseling, for passion of connectivity, networking. I pride myself as an educator, coming from an educating, family back in Pakistan. And just like Bushra and Rashna ji, immense experience. It's been now 21 years. Yes, I'm that old. 21 years in counseling and 13 years in Dubai, just like Rashna ji's school as well. My school was highly international. I worked at American International School Dubai for 8 years, moved into Ajman to this part of the world. And there is hardly any place on earth where I might have not sent a student for admission. And I pride this, again, touch wood, that I would go like Miss Rachna to any level to help a child, a family. Even if I couldn't, I'll be the second person with him to cry by his side because I couldn't help. So apart from being a seasoned counselor, I learn a lot, whether it's a new face, whether it's a new curriculum, something new in counseling. I cannot be the all-knowing oracle, but these forums, such forums, I join for my own reasons. Again, Ms. Rashna mentioned and Bushra mentioned, we go up and beyond, we learn from each other. And again, there is no envy, there's no jealousy in our world, in counselors' world. We just learn, we are there for each other. And those who had interacted with me in the past, they would just, say it, and they would, stamp it that help's needed. I'm just a call, a text away from all my fraternity members, being on either side of the table.
Fantastic.
All right. So thank you so much, Mansoor. And I'm sure, hearing you all, the students are definitely in safe hands. And Mansoor, I think you're only old by the numbers that you mentioned. You're still very young at heart.
Young child.
All right, so let's dive into our questions this evening. Thank you so much once again, ladies and gentlemen, for taking the time. It's absolutely wonderful hosting you all. So my very first question is more of an open-ended question, because I would like to learn from each of the panelists and I begin this question with Bushra to tell us about the different curriculums that exist in Qatar, and then of course we will hear from for the UAE region as well when we talk of high schools in that region. Yes, Bushra.
So in Qatar, we have diverse curriculum that are being taught all across the various schools because Qatar is a region where all the expats are coming, and people are coming from different regions. So starting with the British curriculum to American to IB, then we have Indian schools over here teaching Indian curriculum, Pakistani schools teaching Pakistani national curriculum, French schools teaching their French curriculum, and German schools teaching their German curriculum. Then because being a Qatar itself, they have their own national curriculum in which is embedded all across. So sometimes it's integrated curriculum along with the Qatari curriculum, and sometimes schools are running their own curriculums as well. So it's very diverse that a lot of curriculums and a lot of various schools are teaching them. If specifically I talk about PISQ, so we have both British and Pakistani curriculum depending on the demand of the people and the community people coming to us. So if they want to choose British, they go for British curriculum. If they want to choose Pakistani, they are going for Pakistani curriculum. Similarly, so all for the community schools, they have the either or choices as well. Then they are the private sector schools who have specific curriculum for American or British, whatever the community is asking for. So we can have we do have diverse sort of curriculums, not as much as diverse the Dubai curriculum are, because there are even more diverse expats over there. But yes, Qatar is offering various curriculums over here.
All right, so that's very, very insightful, to know. I'm sure the listeners would, and I would like to take this opportunity to invite each one of them, whether they're joining us from Europe or from the US. So a very good morning, good afternoon to those joining in, and I see people joining in, as we are talking also. And just one little thing that I want to add over here is that if anyone has any questions, they are more than welcome to write them down in the chat area, and the panelists will be happy to take those questions, and I will address those questions to the panelists, and then we can take them up. Now I would like to hear from the UAE perspective also, and maybe Ms. Rachna can shed some light on that.
I think, Mansoor, we're lucky to have all kind of curriculums in the UAE. I mean, with the expats here, we have students from Europe, we have students from the US, UK, Australia, Canada, and we have curriculums also from, we have a school for Canadian students, Australian students, we have schools, we have the IB, we have the A-level, we have the Indian ICSE, we have the CBSE, we have the Pakistani curriculums, we have the local curriculum as well. I think we're fortunate to have all kind of curriculums in UAE because of so many expats here. Plus we have international curriculums like the IB where students want to join as well. So it all depends on, on each one, where they want to go and where they want to study, depending on the family priority and on the family future that they want to see their child in. But I think we're pretty lucky to have a huge number of curriculums. I think it caters to most of the expats here, I think, right, Mansoor?
Rachna ji, well said. Dubai offers versatility, not only diversity. We are very versatile in this part of the world. Come up with any, expat, we would have the right schools for them. As Bushra mentioned, there are German curriculums in this part of the world, French curriculums. There's Shoifats, and there is something new happening, and Rachna ji would back it up as well. There is cherry picking now. Schools are taking few portions of one curriculum, then amalgamating them with another curriculum. And I myself pride, from a couple of schools that I worked with, where we actually were open to it. And in Dubai, this openness, this mindfulness of being a hub to, tourists, to families, and that's where we educators pride ourselves on being here. Like their national curriculum, Rachna ji mentioned that they have a Shahadat Anwiya, and I know a lot of schools that I'm helping students privately as well, that they have one or two of their subjects from IB, one or two of their subjects from AP, one or two of their subjects from British curriculum. So in Dubai, Shoifat, like for me, when I came to this part of the world, Shoifat was a very different concept for me, of having the Lebanese curriculum as well and how they operate, and then, going to the AP, IB as well. Some schools offer, like Bushra mentioned, in her school, they are offering two different curriculums to the audience. And I always make this joke with my friends from US, and again, good morning to my friends and familiar faces in US and Canada. We say this joke that Dubai is like booking on Emirates. You have cargo class, you have business class, you have economy class, super economy class, depending on your budget. Whatever budget you would have, the school would offer you. We have schools from 120,000 dirham benchmark tuition fee to schools as affordable as 15,000-20,000 dirham. So again, depending on where you are located in these beautiful 7 Emirates, what's the need, what's the family plan. And again, we pride ourselves that there isn't any expat that would come to this part of the world and would be discouraged, disappointed that they do not find the curriculum they're looking for. So yeah, we have literally the most diverse curriculum anywhere in the world.
Well, absolutely. And this, again, I think it helps students also a lot, even in choosing their higher education options, and they're able to align themselves from that early stage. So very, very nice to know of the diversity that exists in both regions, actually. So my next question happens to be, to Mansoor, or for Mansoor, itself. So what is the trend you have in your experience of so many years? You mentioned, what is the trend that you have seen of students opting for higher studies? I mean, is it US or is it UK, or is there some kind of trend you have experienced? You want to shed some light on that?
I think with this generation, the best part is that it's a changing landscape. Nobody knew there was a Twitter engineer 20 years back. Nobody knew there was a software or a Facebook, you know, uh, marketing guy or something. So emerging fields are there. But having said that, the traditional field of engineering, pre-med, the aspirations to go to those fields are still pretty much there. One thing that with currently, which Rachna ji, Bushra, myself, and so many others, they are doing is we are removing the pigeonholing where parents would come and just say, my kid has to go to medicine. Psychometric analysis, what a child wants, and their portfolios. I think that's where we have done a great job for the last at least a decade, where I think parents act more like a checkbook and the kids decide and drive their way. So again, engineering, pretty much with all diverse fields, and even fusion into mechatronics, electronics, and mechanical together, and all of it, they're pretty much there. But they're emerging fields as well. People are opting now for kinesiology as well, physiotherapies as well. Psychology is pretty much big now. I think law, social sciences, pretty much. But again, knowing the world politics, I think post Brexit things got really interested for UK because of the cost bound things with the regime change keep on changing in US. I think students are very adamant of understanding how the world would look like. Canadian with the different diaspora and whatever's happening with different world orders. I think students are pretty smart nowadays, and I think Rachna ji and Bushra would back it up. Each child has at least 4 to 5 plans. Even they have a fail-safe plan. If nothing works for them, what a plan, what they have. So I think kids got smarter, parents got smarter and educated, and we as well, we counselors got smarter as well, that how to help a child with all diverse options. But again, US still pretty much number one, followed by UK, Europe, and there are smaller regions in Eastern Europe as well, which are picking up as well. And people are looking at what would suffice. Even a kid right now, Khwaja and the panelist, is smart enough to understand post-work opportunities, accreditations, equalizations, passports, PRs, TRs. So a kid wouldn't just come and just say, I want to be a doctor now. Would my certificate get validated in India and in Pakistan? Would I come back to get a Ministry of Health accreditation? So again, having said that, a kid comes to our office and we pretty much offer all of the options to them. But again, if it's a US school, naturally kids are going to, US, university. It's a British school. And if it's an international school, for that context, we get students applying to everywhere.
All right. So, well, thank you so much on that. I want to bring in Rachna ji here, and I'd like to understand that is there some kind of percentage that you have seen of students going? I mean, and if yes, then what is that breakup that you have seen in your experience? That's of the total students who are looking at opportunities outside their country.
So in my school, I'm the counselor in, 99% go abroad. It's only 1% that stay back in the UAE, very, very few. Okay. The recent trends with the geopolitical issues, I have seen students applying everywhere this year because they may not get the visas, they may not, because of the visa issues in Canada, the visa issues in the US with the Trump coming up, what are going to happen, the next rules are going to change, what's going to be like. Similar UK as well, we have students who didn't get visas last year, so we are a little concerned about that. So I've seen kids applying everywhere this year because of the geopolitical issues. But the trend still remains UK and US as the top choices. In fact, Canada's gone down because of the issues that are happening, safety reasons, PRs becoming more tougher. So Canada's definitely gone down in numbers in my school, but UK and US are the topmost. The trends are still there. Safety or no safety, students want to go there definitely, for sure. So I see that, and I see few students going to Europe. They do apply. Europe is not easy anymore. It's becoming harder as well. So they are making it tougher for the students. So the kids are well aware, they're smarter, they understand. So they're keeping safety nets for themselves. So they're applying to 3-4 countries. In future, if they lose one, they have the other backup. And there are some who may consider gap year if things don't work out fine. But most have 3-4 countries they're applying to, definitely. And I can't say no because of the geopolitical issues. Things are not going the right way. So we need the kids to have that safety to go somewhere at least. So definitely, I would say that US, UK rule the rules definitely.
Okay. And I would like to stick with you, Rachna ji, and like to continue asking you. And we're talking of UAE, and obviously Dubai is again, the hot spot. But if we talk of the other Emirates, what, in your opinion, I mean, which are those hidden gems if we talk of beyond Dubai? And of course, I would like to bring in Mansoor also on that after Ms. Rasnaji's.
I see students going a lot to Sharjah.
Okay.
So definitely the University of Sharjah and AUS are fabulous schools, no doubt about it. They're very, very good. Whether it's medical, whether it's STEM, whether it's their architecture program, their business program, they're really good. So I have kids definitely looking at these. I don't have kids going to Al Ain and Al Quwain and other Emirates. But Abu Dhabi, yes, NYU picking up in a big way. So we have students applying to NYU as well in Abu Dhabi. So these are the two things our students are looking into. But I think students need to explore a little more. If they're international universities, students will definitely go for it. Like AUS is international.
Right.
University of Sharjah has a very good program in medical and in STEM. And knowing that, I tell the kids to look into this definitely, and it's closer to home for them. They can drive every day or stay on the campus and then come home because Dubai is close by. But Al Ain and Fujairah, I don't see kids going there at all. So I don't know if Mansoor has those kind of students going there. I'm sure he'll throw some light there. But Sharjah and Abu Dhabi, my students definitely go, and I would vouch for that
Right.
definitely.
Perhaps I was not able to, ask you properly. What I wanted to understand, of course, we got an insight of how students move domestically. But what I wanted to understand is, of course, we have a lot of students from Dubai looking at opportunities outside Dubai, US and elsewhere. What I wanted to understand was, what about the other Emirates? Like, are students going from Sharjah, from Ajman, or Fujairah to places outside their place?
I can't throw light about Fujairah and Al Quwain, but Sharjah, yes, I have counselors and I do have a chat with them. Yes, kids are looking to go abroad, definitely. They are, for sure.
All right.
I
All
think
right.
Mansoor can fill in the gaps here.
Yeah.
Well, my friend Rachna ji forgot a very important part of this. Why Sharjah and others? They have a 3 days weekend. So people, teachers, principals, students, everybody like to go to Sharjah. Even myself, I would love to shift to Sharjah to enjoy a 3 days weekend with my family. Going back to on a serious note, I think Sharjah with SPIA, Sharjah Private Education Authority, APIA with Ajman Private Education Authority, the MOE has a big say in it, just like the way we have handled EDEC and KHT in the past, Sharjah on different forums. I think it's really picked up. Now I see a lot of international traffic, universities, recruiters, third-party recruiters, big, forums, Education USA forum, education forums are coming to Ajman. I get every weekend my email is bombarded from US, from Canada. Hey, are you available? And then again, based on my observation, again, I'm not being judgmental, but I think the process is not easier like in KHD, but way easier than EDEC. So universities prefer coming to, SPIA schools, Sharjah or Ajman. Going back to the Northern Emirates and Fujairah, Ras Al Khaimah, and Al Quwain, I think students, international schools are there. Khwaja Bhai, a lot of students, and Rachna ji would back it up. They went because of post-pandemic, whatever happened financially. A lot of families moved from Dubai because they couldn't afford the lifestyle. They went to Sharjah, Ajman, like myself, and other smaller Emirates as well. But they have international schools, and those international schools have a big footprint because they're from GEMS, they're from Talim, they're from Blooms, and they're from other groups. So again, the students do get choices. We have a lot of students from Ajman going this year, last year as well, to international universities. And I would rather encourage my friends in US and in Canada and internationally to do consider, there is a beautiful city called Dubai, but that's only one of the Emirates. There are 6 other beautiful Emirates that you guys should take care of. And I think I had this opportunity with Khwaja, with you on a different forum, that I would love Ajman to be a hub, and being a proud counselor, lead counselor of one of the elite school here, I would love to host most US universities in the coming years.
Absolutely, absolutely. No, that's very helpful to hear, actually, and that's what we want to share with our US university partners also, that again, there is a lot of potential beyond Dubai itself, And on that note, I would like to bring in Ms. Bushra to hear from her similarly, like, of course, we hear a lot about Doha. So are there any places that you think, universities can explore beyond Doha when we are talking of Qatar?
So Doha is like one of the municipality of Qatar. There are other regions, Al Khor, Wakra, and others. So we have diverse schools all around. A lot of USA and UK universities are over here as their sub campuses. We have CMU, we have Wills Cornell, Georgetown. They have settled their campuses over here in Qatar. Now a lot of new universities are also coming in, which shows that yes, a lot of students are inclined toward international universities, and they are looking forward to moving either to those universities, or if, because a lot of expats are here in Qatar, if they cannot move out, so they want somebody to be over here who can take care of them in form of the campuses being over here and students move to those universities. And me being a counselor of a community school, see a lot of influx of students moving towards the campuses which are over here in Qatar rather than moving to international universities, because when they're moving outside of Qatar, they're going to UK, USA, or another universities. So they have to look into the living costs and other things. So being in Doha, being near to the family, they have those opportunities to be over here and learn from the international universities, which is a plus point for them. So yes, we have a lot of area, a lot of scope where a lot of international universities can come in. And I will second Mansoor on this point, that every single day we have a lot of counselors reaching out to us, telling us that we want to come in, we want to talk to the students, we want to reach out to the community and the parents. And being community school and coming under Pakistan Embassy, we have an edge to reach out to a lot of Pakistani community. So in this way, we are facilitating a lot of counselors to come to us so that we can make them have a broader aspect, not only for the students, but for the parent side as well. So yeah, a lot of scope we have over here in Qatar.
Right. So I think that's very nice to hear from both regions that, it's not just those main cities, but, you can go beyond those, beyond Dubai, beyond Doha, to get students, and they are waiting to have you on their school campuses. So that's definitely very encouraging to hear. But I would like to stick with you, Bushra, and ask you that. I mean, you have been interacting with so many students almost on a daily basis, with the kind of experience that you've had. So are there any common questions that you come across, maybe a few of them that you would like to share, so that would help universities to have talking points around those questions, or have their presentations around those questions, so it'll help them prepare well. So yeah, if you want to shed some light on that.
Sure. So again, I'll come to the same point. Being a counselor of a community school, one of the major things that parent and students are coming to me are the scholarships, because again, being a community school, we have the lowest fee structure in Doha. We are the school with biggest number, yet lowest fees. So the audience I'm dealing with is majority those who are on the struggling and or who are like doing well, but still they want to gain the scholarships. So one of the things that each and every student is coming out to me is talking about is the scholarship. So then we are directing them towards how they can reach out to the university scholarship, need-based scholarships, sport-based scholarships, how they can score good in SCT so they can track some better scholarships and stuff like that. So this is majorly what I am talking about to the students. Another area which students are looking forward is how they can look into the residence and visa, because being a Pakistani community, unfortunately we are struggling more on getting the visas as compared to the other nationalities. Recently we got a lot of areas that on the visa area that we are struggling with. So yes, they are asking that if they get into the universities, will the university be helping them with the visa process, how they should be applying for the visa process. So I know when the universities are coming to us, it's not their area. They might be talking about the visas. As a counselors, we are supposed to look into that and guide people about that. But maybe somehow the university representatives can give a little bit briefing about how they can facilitate students on those areas as well, so that when they are here in the campus, students have that what we say, a sense of owning from the side of university, and some light of confidence from the side of university that okay, this could be happening. If they are going out, they might not be getting rejected, like Roshna ji said, that because a lot of students got visa rejection. So that's one of the area they struggle a lot on. Then as Mansoor said previously, students are not only looking towards one area, they are having 3, 4, 5 different career choices. They want to explore more about the new technology, the new career choices that are coming in. They are not going toward the traditional pathways. So as a counselor, we are also struggling, and we are also exploring more around with them, seeing out what other sort of career options they can look into. So these are the major concerns that are coming from the side of students.
All right. So yeah, that's very helpful, and I'd like to bring in Mansoor here and ask him, like, what I mean. Of course, you meet a lot of students and you interact with so many students, and you can also shed some light on the type of questions also that you come across. But I mean, the real decisions come in from parents. I mean, what, in your opinion, you have experienced? Like, what is the role, or what is the percentage of role, parents play when students are deciding? So please share with the audience.
There is a vocab that we use in our world called pigeonholing. Parents would come, they would have either the knowledge or wouldn't. They would be educated enough to understand the paradigm with careers, choices, universities, finances. But that pigeonholing, I think it took almost decades of Rachna's time, my time, other champion counselors as well, to just shift it back that, hey, you have an important equation of finances. We do understand, but a child could not relive your dreams unless and until he or she doesn't have the rigor of that subject. A child going to biology or to sciences or to med sciences, having a weak chemistry, weak biology, not recommended by the counselor or by the biology teacher, wouldn't make a successful doctor. So going back, I think pigeonholing is something that all of us we try to stop. We try to educate as soon as they come from the middle transition year into their freshman year, grade 9 in our schools. If it's a 12-year school and 13-year schools, Rachnaji's or other schools which go operate British, they operate differently. We have parents' night, we have career nights, we have elective nights, we have we have different coffee mornings with parents where we educate them. And now, having said that, end of the day, who pays for the child? Parents. And they always put in their weight, because financially a decision cannot be taken as a concrete decision unless and until the finances, the numbers, the algorithm is not done to it. So going back, we do get this question, but I think the parents have evolved. The parents have got into the counseling. They do often come in big numbers to us, as you mentioned. in different forums. They meet us, even they have the expos, road shows, and we see a huge trend of parents getting into, the understanding of careers. So I think the last 10-15 years were really exciting in this part of the world, where I saw literally no parents in career fairs, rather having more parents in the career fairs than students. And Rashna ji could back it up, because in one of her school, we did a forum, Education USA visit. I think, Raja, you were a part of me, and there was a lot of parents, and I love it. That's why, councils like Bushra and Rachna, myself, we put in the parents there. Parents do ask questions about, number one, post work, OPTs, opportunities, trending markets, visas. A big part of our job nowadays is as if we feel like we as visa officers. I think once they leave, apply as a visa officer somewhere to make crazy money. So going back, visas are something that parents do ask about, cost saving. Parents do ask about, scholarships. And having said that, I think for a counselor, it's not the child that's the difficult part of counseling. It's the parent. That's the most challenging part of our jobs. You would spend hours and hours and hours and hours with parents. Guess what happened? After a fine 6-month, 1-year semester gap, they come back to 0.0. You have to educate them again.
I think I would like to add here, the parents also tell their children, choose a career that pays more.
More.
Wow.
That is something so challenging for me. And I tell the parents, let the child choose what they want. Money will follow. If they love it, money will follow. But they don't agree with that. So one of the challenges that I face a lot is choose a career of passion or choose a career that pays more. That is a question, how much I battle with every year after year after year. Yeah, yes, Mansoor.
Yes, Mansoor.
That's where Khwaja and Siddiqui Saab, that's where I think myself, and there are so many other counselors doing a great job. That's where what we do is we do career surveys, RISEC surveys, psychometric analysis. So if you're going to talk to me about your child, either you have to be a good talker or you cannot be talk. You can't talk me out. I would have the documents, I would have the homework, the feedback of a child, and tell you, sir, how about you just listen to 7 different teachers, 2 beautiful, handsome, decent counselors for the last 2-3 years. That's the psychometric analysis. That's the career survey. That's your child's potential. So how about we just skip the money or the PR or TR you're looking for, or rather going to your son's passion, your daughter's passion. And for some reason, I think I'm successful enough in the last 1 decade. It wasn't easy, the beginning of it, especially working with, as Rachna ji mentioned, 80 plus nationalities in UAE. But I think they understood that we have the heart in the right place and we're advising their children as our own, and we understand how it works. So going back, I think Rachna ji is pretty much, accurate, spot on. It's always the parents that we have to educate.
I'll tell you a story here. When I had a student who was interested in music, was forced to do economics. Did economics first year in Bath, failed, came back, took a gap year. Father got fed up, didn't know what to do, sent him to Australia. Today, he's a musician in Australia.
Wow.
So, I mean, I tell the parents stories. When we tell them the kind of stories, and we give those parents numbers, I say, talk to them. And then you have an idea, because those stories, only then these parents' eyes, they awaken and they say, okay. So statistics and stories is the best thing to talk to parents about, which helps them understand. Yes, Mansoor.
Recently, a Jordanian kid, 5 OAP, 5 subjects, an A-star student, and suddenly he said, enough of pre-med or health sciences, I would love to go to culinary arts. And there was a huge rift on even the dinner table, the final dinner table where we were, the decision was about to be accepted. And I found a middle ground, Rachna ji and Khwaja and my friends. I told the parent, how about we go with whatever the plan was for the 4 years, but with one of the minor in culinary arts in the same university. Let me just drop an email and just see if the child could stay in health sciences but do a minor in culinary. So guess what the child is doing right now? He has all his credits of health sciences. One of the minor is culinary arts, and he's going to the canteen or whatever their facility is to cook. So his passion is there, and he's studying as well. So at least we counselors know how to make common grounds between students and parents. And at time, you are actually talking to 2 different frequency people in the same house. The parents would speak a different language, and the son would speak or the daughter would speak a very different language.
Yeah.
Yes, Pushpa, you had something to add to that.
Yeah, so nowadays another major trend which I'm seeing in this Gen Z thing is like, just tell us how we can quickly end a degree program and start earning. Like, this is something coming more frequently to me. Why we have to spend 4 years of degree program? Why not something shorter? Why not something quicker? Why? So they are more into like getting into their earning area rather than getting into long degree programs and shortcuts and everything. So that's one of the another area that is always they're coming back to me and asking me, ma'am, how we can cut short everything and get into that pathway.
That's
Right.
come. Do you know why? Because two students from Dubai, got Stanford offers, didn't go there, started a business in India during COVID, Zepto, and today they're multi-billionaire company. And
Right.
they're students with 5 years experience, hiring people with 30 years experience, 20 years experience. So looking at them now, students want to the Gen Z wants to be their own boss, don't want to work for others.
I think I would add Khwaja for my US university friends and international university friends. I had a student, female student, and she comes from a very privileged background. She went to one of the UCs and she went to a small liberal arts college. Like, these were the two options that we applied to, just randomly. And she was all bound to go to one of the elite UCs. And then she told me, "Sir, can you please talk to my father? I don't want to go there. I just want to go to a small liberal arts college." So the father got me in. We were on a coffee, and the father just asked, and I asked the student, really good student, that what triggered your decision. And look at the answer. The answer was, "Mr. Mansoor, I don't want to be a roll number 60,237. I want to be myself in a small liberal arts college." So liberal arts colleges, small community colleges, there are students which want to be themselves, and they find your campus to be best campuses.
Exactly. So you need to, reach out. You need to make your presence felt so that those students looking at those opportunities, get to you. So well, that's very, very interesting. And thank you so much for those insights. I mean, now I want to again ask Mansoor about, we heard from Bushra also that there are so many campuses coming up within this region, whether it's Qatar or the UAE. So, I mean, from you, I want to, know that with these campuses coming up, do you see this affecting the outflow of students? And on the other side, of course, there could be influx of international students to your region also. So what's your take on this upcoming situation?
I think US, UK, Canada, Europe, it all depends on politically what's happening there. The geopolitics happens there. I think it is in the academic rigor at time. Even I would just say, even finances, it is not even the primary issue. The primary issue is always, what the vibes, the media, the geopolitics, some nationalities, passports, the rifts between, two capitals, something. Going back to what the question was really interesting. I have a couple of different dimensions to look at it. I think international students are, we in Dubai for the last 10 years, and Rachna ji could back it up, I have seen a humongous increase of people coming from different part of the world, be it war-torn countries, be it successful countries, millionaires, strugglers, white-collar jobs, you name it. And Dubai from a small city became like a mini hub internationally. So I do not see US losing or UK or Canada big number. They still get their numbers depending on what they're looking at. But going back to what I'm trying to convey to to the panelist, we have academic cities. We have an academic city in Dubai. We have an academic city in Qatar. All international universities, some international universities are already there. Some are in the licensing or accreditation process. So our students, before making a choice, are pretty smart. They do the calculations, cost saving, living costs, traveling, living from, and some families want their kids not by the age of 16, 18. They want them to mature enough, go with the 3+1, 2+2, get their driving license, get the trust bill, the whatever dynamics. So I think it's a win for the universities which have campuses here as well, but it's also not a US or Canadian or European loss of not coming here. I think everybody is getting their piece of the pie, and everybody gets their students as well. It just depends on what they're targeting, what they're looking at. Like, I'll just give you an example. If you're going to a Pakistani school, any Pakistani school, you might have 1 or 2 or 2 or 5 or 10% students having the affordability. But if you're going to Rachna Ji school and students paying already a very decent tuition fee, and then they're academically prepared, they're internationally prepared, some of them already traveled abroad within their high school. So I think the universities should just target the right audience, the right schools to them. Same goes for local universities as well. They're really good universities. They're offering a lot of programs, 2+2, and even in partnership with other universities. So our kids nowadays in 2025 have more choices than those kids which were our students in 2010s and 2015s. I think Rachna ji would be able to shed more lights on it.
Definitely. I think I see that a lot of change these days where students won't stay back here in Dubai as well. They keep this as a safety net in case they don't get visas, they have any issues with education, and they feel they want to come back and stay with the parents, closer to the parents, or the parents feel the child is not mature enough to go, can still do 2 years here. So those are kids who stay back, and then after 2 years, then they fly back and to do independent school that they want to join. But I do see the safety reasons, close to family, parents feel not ready for university. I see students staying back now for these things. And we've got fantastic universities, UAE, Qatar, where students are happier there. I see that. Even RAC, our students go there as well, and parents are open. Some students, because of peer pressure, because all their friends are going abroad, they want to go for some reason, the reason like, oh, everybody's going abroad and I want to go. But then they do realize that at the end of the day, if parents can't afford for some reason financially, they have siblings, 2 or 3, and then it gets a little tough for some parents. And then they're happy to stay here. And they do come to school and talk to me, and they help me in my office then. So I like my students come and help me out here.
Yeah, transition, I think Bushra would back it up as well. Transition at some time, Khwaja, is not taken, transition within UAE, cultural, social, emotional, and then Dubai, Doha has a habit of spoiling you. So a child would be here, food, roads are known, the friends are here, and then they have ample opportunities. Rachna ji mentioned Ras Al Khaimah, great universities, study campuses from UK, Sharjah, some of the elite universities at the NYU Abu Dhabi. We have Khalifa Zayed University, Al Ain universities, depending on who you are, your affordability, and what we're looking at. And I think some students would live here for obvious reasons of finding a job. The parents are here. The parents are doing multiple gigs. They're having a regular job. They're having a family business. They have a side gig as well. So the child is fully aware. And I think the child right now at time is way smarter than those, back 2 decades ago.
Absolutely. All right. So I want to bring in Bushra here and ask her, like, in your opinion, if you had to advise universities, we have so many university reps, people who travel internationally, the international recruiters, so if you have to advise them and share your opinion, about the best ways to connect with students, so do you think, attending fairs is a good idea, or maybe, the visits that happen, when universities are able to present before the students, and then students, or a mix? So what, in your opinion, would be a good way to connect with students?
So, as per my experience till now with my students, I feel like when university is coming to the campus, because it's one university at one time, so they are putting 100% attention towards them. So that's one of the first-hand experience that they are getting from the university. So if the university is planning to target a small audience at one time, putting all the information at the same time within a time of half an hour or an hour or so, and have their quick Q&As and answer all the questions that a particular audience is having. So I think one-to-one interaction is very good. The seminars and in-campus sessions are very interactive and very helpful. But if we are thinking about giving exposure to the students to the bigger population, a lot of universities at one time, for me as a counselor, I always look forward for career fairs, university fairs, in which a lot of universities from different various backgrounds and different nationalities and different area of the world, they are coming in one area, and the students have opportunity to find a lot of different opportunities, a lot of different universities, a lot of different programs in one time and under one building. That is very helpful for a student as well. Sometimes because sometimes the academic session is going on, it's hard for the student to come out. If you're talking about IB, British curriculum, AB, so it's hard for students to leave their studies apart and getting into all of that. And sometimes school have restriction of reaching the curriculum and not giving time to the university expose and all. So at that time, virtual sessions could be helpful, but I feel that when the virtual sessions are happening, students are not giving that much attention to the sessions, but sometimes it's also helpful. So it depends, like what sort of audience we are interacting with and what is the target of the university. Depending on that, I think the best one is having either the session with the student in the school or have university fairs. But sometimes parents want to, like for example, if I have shortlisted few universities for my student and the parent is interested to reach out to any of the university counselors, I arrange a meeting with the counselors as well. In that way, whatever queries they have from the university, knowing more about the programs and how the accommodation and every other question, so they have their one-to-one interaction with the university counselors. It also depends like how we are looking into those areas.
Yes, please, Mansoor.
I would just only do one thing, and I loved how Bushra ji put it in a broader prospect. I would just eliminate the third party. I would just eliminate the third person. I would want university to interact directly with me or with my student or the parents. The moment I see a third party or a rep that is not actually a rep and that's there just for other financially monetary reasons, I would get alarmed. And for me, whether it's webinars, seminars, workshops, mini fairs, mega fairs, part of a bigger fair, I don't mind unless and until I have an authentic, accredited, well-respected university community, college, international college, talking directly to my child, not making those big, fancy, empty promises financially. I learned this art of saying a no straight face to even people that I know, and I would just tell them, thank you so much, let's have a coffee. But I think, I would want actually an authentic, first-hand, direct admissions office, recruiting office, university speaking to my students. So going back to what she said, I think workshops work really well. I've done one thing more additionally. Now my career fairs are in two sections. One of the section is only for students. Another section is students and their parents to make prompt decisions. It saves my time. It saves students time, energy as well. So if you are interested, and the first morning hour, you are interested, in the afternoon hours, I open it to parents as well. So for me, it's doing wonderful in this part of the world.
Yeah. Yes, please.
I think I would do a mixture of all. And I normally tell, if there are 2 or 3 schools coming in, I tell them to do a session on case studies, share with students which students got in, which didn't get in, and what were the reasons. So when students understand the firsthand what happens in the admission office, then they know how to prepare and plan for it. So I tell them to do personal statement, essays, how to write activities, what are the combinations of a common app or a UCAS or the applications. Give us information about each section separately. The students seem even more interested and they get more engaged. So for me, if there's 2 or 3 schools coming, I made them do that. If there's a career fair, it's one-to-one interaction and kids really enjoy, and parents are invited across. And then the parents can interact with the admission officers if they need. In fact, I tell the students, if you come and meet the admission officers 2 or 3 times, it's like a mini interview. And the admission officers actually go back remembering you. So when they read your application, it's a brownie point for you. So please come for it, please do come for it. So a lot of students definitely, because I tell them this, I have a beeline of students coming in to attend the sessions, and all the university officers are pretty happy because I have loads of them coming in the same time then. So it's a mixture of either ways. It depends how you see it then.
Brilliant. Rachna ji mentioned a point, and that's for the universities, our audience and our friends as well on the other side of the table. We tell students, we prepare the questionnaire, and we tell students that once you drop a gratitude email that, hey, I'm just naming university, no strings attached. NYU Abu Dhabi, thank you for visiting us today. I was one of the students at XYZ school. I love interacting with you. Can you please tell me more about it? And I would love to know more about it. So what happened is a name to a face effect happens. You don't get an alien emailing you. You understand a gratitude came from this child the same day, and then it's backed up after a week, after a month, another email. And these things work wonderful. As I'm a anthropology student and a human connection skill guy that I interact, I have passed this to my students as well to make those lifelong connections. It might help, it might not help, but at least they would remember your name, your face, your school through your gratitude email. So Rachna ji, what we do is we give them questionnaires, and it's mandatory for my student council, for my students to drop a gratitude email even if they're not going to a university.
In fact, in our school, I prepare them with a questionnaire in September. I give them a list of questions. They say, this is what you should be asking the admission officers when they come to you. Come well prepared, they get impressed. If you don't come well prepared, then you don't earn any brownie points. So do more homework, check the SAT requirement, check what they're known for, check their location, check the Nobel Award winners, check their professors, come and talk about it. It really helps. So I give them those pointers in the beginning of September. I put it on Teams for students. These are the pointers you should look into. And when kids come, the admission officers really get impressed. And that's what I want my kids to know. They tell me always that your kids are so well prepared and they know so much more than what even we know sometime about our college. And that's true because they read a lot about it. They do. And I give them information. This school is coming. This is the information. Do more homework on these areas. Their vision, their mission, their values. Read about this and then come. Don't come without that. If you don't come, it's okay. But come with all this prepared. And if you don't attend more than 3 visits, I will not see you in my office.
Brilliant.
If you don't invest in yourself, I will not invest in you. So the kids know, the students know, Mr. P will not see us. So they will attend the sessions there.
Right. And I think Bushra also had something to add to that. So before I head to the next question, Bushra, would you like to add something to that? Were you looking to add something to that? If I saw you're trying to join in, or
No.
okay, then it's fine. All right. Okay. So while my last question is to Rachna ji, and I think partly you people have answered that question, but still I would like to, since I have that on the list. So do you think you would you want to share this with the universities, that when they are traveling, when they are trying to connect with students, is it equally important to connect with counselors? How important is it to connect with counselors, if I can put it that way?
I think it's very important. I think it's very important because when you connect with counselors, we give them the tips as well in the office. So if the admission officers can't come for some reason, or if they can come and they're not given enough information, it's we who give the information to the students as well. So connecting, even sometimes you can't have a visit with the students, come and meet the counselor. It's very important because that connect opens doors for many more opportunities for students. I tell them, give me the brochures, give me whatever you can. I'll share with the students. I'll talk to them. And when parents come and you tell them, they're like, oh, we didn't know this. Oh, we had no clue about this. Oh, this is brilliant. I think we look at the school as well, because they've not come. They're not able to come, and we are sharing that information. And I say, here's a brochure, read about it, have a look, do your homework, and then you make a choice then. So I think it's very important for universities, even if they can't meet the students, meet the counselors, please. It's really important. Giving the information is absolutely important as well.
A very, very valid point made by there, that even if you're not able to connect with students, still make that effort of connecting with the counselor. Yes, I'll come to Bushra, to you as well. Mansoor was raising his hand very impatiently to comment on that.
Rachna ji just dotted it. It's very important for universities to connect with counselors. A child always love it once a counselor is either on campus, they have something to show, or they're very well connected with the university or with somebody from the university. The child's trust goes to another level once they know that, okay, Rashna ji or Bushra ji or myself, they know the university, they've been to that university, they've interacted, or they've sent students or their emails to back it up. And it helps us as well to convince a child that he or she is in safe hand. We have interacted, we have sent students, they've come to our campuses. It's not the stress balls or the goodie bags that they bring it for us. It's the value that they bring to our counseling program. It's the value that, we bring then to our students by telling them we are well connected with that XYZ university. So I think it's really important, whether it's coffee mornings, coffee sessions, dinners, fly-ins, campus tours, mini tours, interaction, social hours, schools, you name it, in anything that you could do in your capacity based on your logistics. I think connecting with a counselor is a game changer for any university working with any school. I'm not just saying Qatar, Doha, or anywhere. You have to connect with the counselors, and that's where I think a lot of good word, lot of credibility check is already done.
Absolutely. Agreed with you, Mansoor.
Yes, for sure.
So I totally agree, and I will second whatever Mansoor said. Counselor reaching out to us. By the way, I love having their goodie bags. So sorry. That's very important, because sometimes when I'm telling the student why not this university, let's talk about this, so they are always reaching out back to us and asking us, ma'am, why you are talking about it, how do you know about it? So when we know the counselors, we know the admission officers from the university, and we are giving their visiting cards and emails to the students and talking more about the campus in detail, it helps the student to understand in a better way. We, being face of the school and being there in the school, are somehow being trusted by the student more than people coming from the university. So if it is coming from our mouth, to student trust in a better way. So yes, all the university counselors, if they are coming, and we are always welcoming them, we want you to be over there with us, interacting with us, talking more about with us, giving more information, keeping us all updated about whatever new you guys are bringing in, so that we are well aware about all the things that you people are bringing in, and we can convey the same information to the student. Because at the end of the day, you, even when are coming to Doha, you might not have enough, or anywhere else in Dubai or Ajman or anywhere else, you might not be able to interact with everybody. But we, as face of the school or population we are dealing with, we might reach out to the parents and to the student in a better way, and everywhere around. So if you are connecting with one of us, connect is going to connect with thousands of others. So it's always best to connect with the school counselors. It's very important.
Well said.
All right. So yeah, that's I think very, very helpful, because and overall, I think the conversation has been extremely insightful. And before I wind up, I want to check if there are any questions that anyone has. So you, like I had mentioned, you are more than welcome to type them in, write them in the chat box area, and we'll be happy to take them. And the panelists would be happy to take any of the questions right away. And I think we have very comprehensively covered, all areas with respect to, what students feel, what parents feel, and what is the trend, that we are experiencing in both these regions. And I'm sure there will be, there's going to be a good takeaway from this interaction. So I don't see any questions in the chat box area so far. So if we do not have any questions, then I'll be happy to wind this up. And just before I wind it up, Mansoor, if we could move to the next slide, so that we can just let everyone know that we have these opportunities that are coming up in these different dates for the different regions. So as you can see, in the Middle East, we will be visiting Qatar and the UAE between April 13th and 17th. So for any of the universities who are looking at visiting this part of the world, you're more than welcome to connect. And well, once again, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for taking the time and being here. It was extremely knowledgeable interaction that we had, and I'm sure there's going to be a great takeaway from this, and the university representatives will be able to align and realign their outreach efforts, and it's going to be extremely helpful for them. Thank you all.
Thank you all. Thank you so much for joining us.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Good night. Good night.
Bye.
Good night from Dubai. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Good night from Dubai. Bye-bye.
Bye.